What is defined as gravity here is simply a mental tuning of vibrational frequency. The manipulation of mind, to convince a flip in the way illusion is perceived, to give a different perspective of projected reality, having it experience up as down and down as up, left as right as left, experiencing constant pulses as distance traveled rather than as it is, which is a single point pulsating out as echoes sometimes overlapping in cycles. So your mind believes to see rain falling, but it is actually rain being raised. Try and imagine seeing this happening the correct way. This eliminates the false gravity, stripping it down completely to a complete pill of shit. Space isn't up, it's down. Up is projected, a screen made of many different elements. Your up only goes to the field, which is bottom, that is behind the sky screen. The North Pole is location of entrance to what you call space, not a never-ending place of planets and galaxies, but simple as the name, it's a very thing, space. The middle of this space is known as the nothingness, where nothing and everything coexist. It is simply the separate connection of the next page or version of this reality. As difficult as it is to understand, here in this shithole there is only manipulation and manifestation. Your minds are manipulated to project reality you experienced being that of the desired will of the system. The key you all search for is no key at all. The reason you constantly reach and search is simply because you lack any memory of your true self. You are dormant inside the cage, which is the mind. Your voice or strength is to feel and create based on those feelings. Since your true self is in a trance state, the mind believes it's in control and holder of power. A programming of feeling called emotions mask your feelings, which is what the mind uses to create idea used to project illusion, which is project out of the eyes, giving ability to experience and feel in a way separate from within, allowing the real effect. It's all a very complex plan of pure simplicity. First step, lure focus by quick shock you direct attention. Second step is to bombard the mind with tons of uselessness and chaotic ideas of concern to create confusion and worries. Step 3 is the offering of solutions and the protection of future occurrences to earn their respect and trust. Give insurance by creating additional illusions of controlled fake problem backed by fancy illusion. Step 4 is to offer to teach and give experience to allow them the ability to learn from you that which you used to save them, but under condition they must agree and be obedient, following rules to ensure their own safety. Their ability to follow rules, obey, and not question shall gain papers as proof to their higher authority. Now they believe only what's programmed by the ones smarter than them and don't question the ones able to protect them. They are nothing without a master. All that work just to make you forget the only real thing you don't currently know, which is why you are here and how being tricked was possible in the first place. The answer to your power can be found in one single word: no. No, and it shall be as it is law. All physical things, and their reason is only relevant to the part they play to have you believe in your own self-manifested illusion of being chained. You are not a physical being with a physical body, not a mind existing inside of a brain that thinks thoughts into physical form. You are but a single fragment of memory which contains all memory that be, the first, the last, the now be, shall be, and forth. Memory is information, to know. To know is to have knowledge, and one holding all knowledge is one of the most valuable, most powerful, energy. Let that click. This physical reality is simply projected. The idea you're tricked into accepting through intense programming and confusing feeling, manipulating them with flooded emotion, creating chaos that makes it impossible for them to function correctly, stresses to the point of shutdown, allowing emotion to take complete control and begin writing new law and operation or code over top them until the original function is lost in that code, allowing emotions complete control to act as creator of the projected illusion to be experienced. If your experience was based on the true feeling instead, you'd not be tricked so easily. You'd know things as they are instead of how they should be. The universe as it's known by most was created to be infinite, or to put it correctly, as time is only relevant to within the moment called Earth. Since most cannot open their minds enough to fathom anything outside theories that are based on not knowing but rather that which they've been told, it's going to be immensely difficult for anyone to understand the entire truth. However, for those willing to at least humor me, I shall explain. First, I'll say that my knowledge is none from this place. Rather explain, let's just say that I simply know, and the few whom I'm able to actually talk to and somewhat get me will tell you that I've literally never been wrong ever. For a long time this was a difficult thing for me to accept myself, and as of this moment an insanely difficult thing to deal with, as I often battle with convincing myself to continue existing here. To know so much to me is as if I'm responsible for it being so. So I can't help but ask if this place would be in far better shape if I was no more. Anyways, back to the subject. Earth is indeed a type of simulation. This reality is the original program. Here is where it all began. Since most are familiar with the term matrix, I'll use it in reference to Earth. The original purpose for the matrix was to act as a training simulation, just like the one in show Star Trek or the animation cartoon X-Men. In the early stages of the matrix, a battle began called the Great War. I won't get into details because they serve no use to men, but what happened was the matrix was the last resort to contain and prevent the spread of a parasite. This parasite was lured into the matrix along with the army that battled it. Inside the matrix would allow a war without destruction or casualties. However, the parasite proved to be far mightier than the army anticipated, and as their strength decreased, the parasite got closer to escaping the matrix. To prevent this, the matrix had to be forever locked, requiring the most powerful source of energy to enter the matrix, leaving its energy just outside the matrix to act as an impenetrable shield, locking all within the matrix permanently. The army fell and became host to the parasite, and the most powerful named the source, which is forever indestructible, slave to the parasite through manipulation of mind over time by having it lose my memory of self, therefore creating its own mental imprisonment. Though the source couldn't be defeated even with all its power being used to hold closed the matrix, the parasite's power of superb manipulation gave the illusion of doing so. Unable to escape, the parasite began using energy of the taken army and the source to control the matrix within, creating pages within it, each having its own singular uniqueness to mark and label that which had been different. Each cycle or page of the matrix is an attempt of the parasites to break the shield and escape the matrix. These pages are known to you as parallel universes. Once a universe is complete, a marker is set. This marker acts as a doorway, or point of moment in which time stands still. It mirrors what's called the nothingness. A moment of emptiness, having a skip effect, forcing the matrix to restart while keeping all acquired data and only erasing the single different moment in time, and in that moment the matrix starts a new cycle as it reads it as the beginning point. From here new reality or pages begin. Here is to you known as the universe expanding. As new pages are added, keeping all past data to be used and improved, creating again one single difference, repeating the cycle again and again for infinite. When speaking of different levels of dimensions such as 3D, 4th, 5th, this isn't a change within the matrix but rather a change to the awareness of those existing inside the matrix. Access to these levels are governed by the laws created by the parasites and its branches of control. One must have access to the 4th dimension before he may experience or become capable of actual movement through the pages. This 3rd dimension has no movement, only vibration as pulsing. No ability to move through the layers. This is why any human will not create a vessel capable of traveling. And sadly, as hard as it is to swallow your idea of space, planets, intergalactic space travel, well, it's all not possible. Not even for the powers to be. Nothing leaves the matrix, you only move through the created realities within. However, ever since being trapped inside, the parasite has worked non-stop attempting to break the shield, and they continue as it's their only plan, and you can get a good idea of exactly how many failed attempts they have had, because men could not count to the number equal to the amount of realities that exist. And those reality only grow in numbers every millisecond. You experience this growth as what you call déjà vu. Simply a brief overlapping of realities. The memory that you gain is the one with the other is lost there in your beginning. Every single moment of time going by, you are a different version of self, disciple so quickly, but you don't notice it because you never actually change, only slight differences are incorporated. This means that, if you got hit by a car right this moment, the very next moment you could be sitting inside eating dinner. Look at it as being echoed. You are a wave, each curve is another you. Death isn't possible as it defies the law of energy. There is instead but a transfer of energy. The universe doesn't expand, instead new pages of reality are added, allowing for broader awareness and different viewpoints in which to understand and process knowing of. Again, this awareness is controlled, the access accessible only by the force in top of rank. For as long as the soul lies dormant, that you will be. Rain.
What's dangerous is when the universe pick you and you put on the magic glasses. There's rules that go with it. You can never take them off. You never see things that they're supposed to be. You see things as they are. And you can never force nobody else to wear them.